Before we dive into this incredible journey through Choose Your Enemies Wisely by Patrick Bet-David, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Truly, thank you for watching, for supporting, and for always being hungry to grow. If you're here, it means you're not the type to settle for mediocrity. You're someone who wants to understand the game of life and business at a deeper level. And this book is one of those rare ones that doesn't just teach, it transforms. It challenges how you think about competition, leadership, and legacy. So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's begin the deep dive that could completely reshape how you look at success, enemies, and strategy. Patrick Bet-David starts this masterpiece with a simple but powerful truth. Not all enemies are bad. In fact, some enemies are necessary. He explains that enemies, whether real or symbolic, are often the driving force behind our greatest achievements. Think about every revolutionary, every world-class athlete, every innovator. All of them had an opposing force that sharpened them, that forced them to grow. The first lesson the book teaches is that the right enemies make you stronger. It's not about hatred or revenge. It's about using conflict as a catalyst for clarity. When someone doubts you, underestimates you, or even competes with you fiercely, they are unknowingly giving you the energy to rise higher. Patrick says that enemies, when chosen wisely, become part of your story. They define your narrative arc, giving your mission meaning and urgency. Then he moves into something even more profound, self-awareness and purpose. Before you can choose your enemies, you must first know who you are and what you stand for. Without that clarity, you'll find yourself fighting meaningless battles. Many people waste years trying to prove themselves to the wrong audience, competing in arenas that don't align with their true purpose. Patrick urges you to pause and define your mission. What do you want to build? What do you want to defend? What are you unwilling to compromise on? Once you have those answers, your real enemies become clear. Not people, but mindsets, systems, or limitations that stand in the way of your purpose. Patrick reminds us that the world is full of distractions and noise. Weak leaders and fragile thinkers get caught up trying to be liked. But true visionaries chase respect, not popularity. That's another key lesson. Popularity fades, but respect endures. When you choose to stand for something meaningful, you will attract both supporters and critics. And that's a good thing. Because if nobody disagrees with you, you probably haven't done anything worth remembering. Patrick draws from his own life, from growing up as a refugee to building massive businesses, and shows that every meaningful step forward required him to take a stand that not everyone agreed with. Respect is earned not through perfection, but through consistency, courage, and conviction. As we go deeper, Patrick dives into strategic thinking, one of the most underrated skills in both business and life. He argues that most people think tactically. They're stuck in short-term reactions instead of long-term vision. Great leaders, on the other hand, think decades ahead. They move like chess players, anticipating moves before they happen. They don't let emotions dictate strategy. Every decision is a calculated step toward a larger mission. And that's why he says, you must think decades, not days. Because the real rewards in life come to those who play the long game. The problem today, Patrick notes, is that too many people are addicted to instant gratification. They want results overnight. But in doing so, they sacrifice greatness for convenience. Real success is built on patience, discipline, and the courage to stay consistent even when the payoff isn't immediate. Another transformative idea Patrick shares is the value of pressure. He says, pressure is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Just as diamonds are formed under immense pressure, your best version is forged in the fire of challenges. When things get tough, when the stakes feel high, that's when you discover what you're truly made of. The book explains how people who run away from pressure often run away from potential. Those who embrace it, learn to perform under it, and grow through it. They become unshakable. Pressure refines character, exposes weakness, and builds resilience. Patrick also teaches that emotions can destroy empires if left unchecked. Emotional decisions may feel right in the moment, but often create long-term consequences. Leaders who act from impulse instead of insight tend to burn relationships, destroy trust, and derail momentum. That's why one of the core principles of the book is emotional intelligence, the ability to master your mind before leading others. The strongest leaders are not the loudest or most aggressive. They're the calm ones in the storm, the ones who stay rational when everyone else is panicking. Then comes one of the most profound sections of the book, the concept of legacy over ego. Patrick reminds us that ego is the biggest enemy of progress. Many people lose their greatness because they become obsessed with credit and recognition. But legacy isn't built on attention, it's built on impact. The people who change the world rarely do it for applause. They do it because they're obsessed with purpose. He challenges you to ask, what will they say about you when you're gone? What difference did your work make? Are you building something that will outlive you? Throughout the book, Patrick shares stories from history, from powerful leaders, innovators, and even military strategists, showing how choosing the right enemies has shaped entire eras. Whether it's business rivals who pushed industries forward or ideological clashes that define nations, the pattern remains the same. Without resistance, there is no refinement. He explains how Steve Jobs' rivalries fueled Apple's innovation, how Muhammad Ali's rivals shaped his greatness, and how political adversaries throughout history pushed civilizations to evolve. But perhaps the most personal lesson Patrick offers is about mindset transformation. He says the biggest enemy you'll ever face is not external, it's internal. It's the voice of doubt, fear, and comfort that whispers you can't do it, that tells you to slow down, to settle. If you can defeat that inner enemy, no external challenge can break you. Patrick encourages you to wage war against mediocrity every single day. Because the moment you become comfortable, you stop growing. And as the hours go by in this deep exploration, one theme keeps repeating: clarity of mission. Clarity simplifies decisions. It filters distractions. It defines what's worth fighting for. Without clarity, everything feels urgent. With clarity, only the meaningful things matter. Patrick talks about building businesses with clear purpose, hiring people who align with that purpose, and cutting ties with anything or anyone that dilutes it. Because confusion kills execution. By the final chapters, Patrick's message becomes both personal and universal. You can't win life's biggest battles without a clear identity, a defined mission, and a willingness to embrace enemies as growth accelerators. Whether you're running a company, building a brand, leading a team, or just trying to become a better version of yourself, the same rule applies. Don't run from conflict, learn from it. Don't fear pressure, grow through it. Don't avoid enemies, choose them wisely. Every page of this book is filled with strategic frameworks, reflective questions, and actionable wisdom that make you stop and think about your career, your relationships, your priorities, and your legacy. By the end, you don't just understand business strategy, you understand life strategy. You start seeing obstacles as opportunities, competitors as motivators, and setbacks as setups for future success. So as we wrap up this deep journey through Choose Your Enemies Wisely, remember this: greatness is not about avoiding war. It's about mastering yourself in the middle of it. It's about knowing who you are, why you're here, and what you're fighting for. The right enemies, the right challenges, and the right mindset can turn ordinary people into legends. And if this video added value to your life, don't forget to like, share, and comment your favorite lesson below. It means a lot to me, and it helps more people discover this message. Thank you so much for watching, for staying curious, and for choosing growth over comfort.